So age-appropriate materials are something parents expect from public schools, public libraries, even museums. But at least one lawmaker says she is seeing more obscene and harmful materials on the shelves of those places. Enter House Bill 666, a bill that would provide, or prohibit, I should say, schools, public libraries, and museums from distributing obscene material to kids. You may be thinking, isn't that already not allowed under Idaho law? Yes, but obscene is a subjective thing, and public schools, public libraries, and museums, well, they're exempt from this law. So appropriately numbered House Bill 666 wants to remove that evil exemption. Katya, how would this bill change things?
Well, Brian, this morning in the House State Affairs Committee, public testimony was most specifically focused on public libraries. And while some parents say this bill would prevent kids from reading sexually graphic texts and books about the LGBTQ experiences, librarians say this opens up the opportunity to criminalize their staff.
Well, likely this is inadvertent, the increasingly frequent exposure of our children to obscene and pornographic materials in places that I, as a parent, assume are safe and free from these kinds of harmful materials is downright alarming.
Somewhere there is a spigot turned on, allowing all sorts of questionable books to be purchased, and parents are starting to notice.
We walk down the slippery slope of censorship of constitutionally protected speech when we have a bill like this.
And we should point out that there is still confusion over whether this bill would criminalize librarians or library workers for letting kids check out what some consider to be an obscene book. Now, the bill passed out of committee along party lines. It now heads to the full House. But we wanted to know, are these books actually on public library shelves that contain, quote, obscene or pornographic material in these children's sections? So we reached out to the Ada County Library, to have them explain how books are selected and eventually put onto these shelves.
It's actually an elected board, so it's members of the public who file, just like a senator or a congressperson would file for office. Our library board members are made up of community members, and there's 5 of them. So part of the library board policy, the array of policies that we have, is one called, in our case, it's called the policy for selecting and discarding materials. It's a policy that is set by the library board and designed to guide pretty much the entire process, from selecting books to add to the collection. Instead of this bill, we would like to see people engaging with us on a community level. We don't see a need for this bill, and we certainly do not see the need to criminalize library staff.
Now, DeWalt says most libraries offer reconsideration forms if a community member wants to share feedback about a certain book and whether or not they feel it should be on library shelves. She says that people can do that. And she says there were a couple times where books were recategorized, for example, from maybe a children's to the teen section in her experience, but she's never had to take a book off the shelf for being, quote, obscene. Now, DeWalt added that all library branches are, of course, different, and the books that they carry cater to that specific demographic. So one book may be available at one branch, but not another. Again, she thinks this bill is unnecessary, like you heard, and she says issues that come up could easily be resolved by communication with community members. Brian.
And as you said, instead of criminalizing it, which is a good question, you could just get involved and be on that library board to help make those decisions for everyone.
Yeah, and especially have a parent present, while their child is looking for a book.
I like a lot of these things, whether it's school boards or library boards. Yeah, it's all about that community involvement. And if you see there's a problem, then maybe you want to take that up and get involved yourself. All right, thanks, Katya.